So, for starters, this is a meeting that ordinarily should have happened at our offices, hosting of these ambassadors. We have hosted them before at our party offices. And so we had expected that today's meeting also would happen at our party offices in Kamocha. But that has not happened because, as you very well know, police and the military are still holding our siege at our offices. Surrounding them, they can't let any of us party officials access them. They can't let any of our staff members access our party offices, which is, by the way, a violation of our right. We are a full-fledged and registered political party in this country, and political parties operate. Work has got to go on, So if the regime thinks that any of us party officials have got any offences to answer to, you don't cut off our party offices. Reach out to us, take us to court. But anyhow, that's why this meeting happened here instead of at our party offices. So today we have hosted ambassadors from the countries of Denmark, Ireland, Belgium, Germany, France, Italy, Netherlands, Sweden, and Austria. They are coming here to interact with the leadership of the National Unity Platform, is like has happened previously. These gentlemen and ladies are here on behalf of their countries that send them here as friends of the country called Uganda. And so every so often they interact with different stakeholders in our politics, governance, etc., etc. And so that's how they get to interact with people like us. They are obviously very concerned about a number of things. They're concerned about the human rights violations that are happening in our country. They're blatant, they're glaring. Anybody sees these human rights violations that keep happening. And so the ambassadors see these things, and they're very concerned. They're concerned about the killings of Ugandans. That has happened before the election, during the election, and after the election. They're very concerned about the abductions that keep happening. The notorious cars, minibuses called drones, that keep moving during the day, during the night, and abducting people, many of whom are our supporters. And so their crime is that they're supporters of NUP and the Honorable Chagulanyi. And they're also concerned about the arbitrary arrests, of course. Many of the prisons, especially Chitalia, is full of NUP supporters. Their crime is just that they support NUP and the Honorable Chagulanyi. And so the ambassadors are concerned about this. They are concerned about, a number of things that happened within the election. And at an opportune time, they will be able to communicate as well. In our engagement with them, we had an ask to put to them, because these are considered friends of Uganda, and Ugandans consider them to be our friends, our development partners. And so we have asked them, one, not to be silent about the goings on in Uganda, about the human rights violations, the killing of people and so on, things which they see themselves. And so we have asked them, please don't be silent. We are not asking them to come and run the affairs of our country. And again, Mr. Tibuhaburwa and people in government keep blackmailing our development partners. When they see them in meetings like these with us and NUP specifically, they will say, now these NUP people have got a Western agenda. And we're like, wait a minute. After they meet us, they go and meet government officials. They go and meet Mr. Tibuhaburwa. Whose agenda does he have? Mr. Tibuhaburwa has blamed them of funding us. We wish they were funding us. All our flag bearers would have got nominated, as you know. There are some of our flag bearers for MP position that didn't get nominated. They didn't have the 3 million shillings. As a party, we were able to help those who were able to help, but we couldn't help everybody. We didn't have funding, But they're very people, they fund government and all of that. And so our ask to them is, please keep speaking out about the ills that are happening, because Uganda is part of the international community. And so Mr. Tibuhaburwa and the people in his government cannot say the West, the international community, should shut up about the affairs in Uganda, like he often says. No, we don't believe that. We are part of the international community. And so the international community ought to hold us as a country accountable, as we also hold them accountable. For example, we are in South Sudan as a country. We are in Central African Republic. Why? Because we are part of the international community. We ought to hold these countries accountable. And so we are asking them of the same thing. We're not saying, come and run the show here. Uganda is a sovereign state. But then Mr. Tibuhaburwa and his government cannot keep killing Ugandans, arbitrarily arresting people, and meting out all this violence, and nobody should say anything to them because we are a quote-unquote sovereign state. So that's our major ask to them as friends of the people of Uganda, to keep doing this. We have not, and we are not asking them to even be in support of any political party like NUP. What we have asked them is not to be necessarily on the side of NUP as a political party, but we've asked them to be on the side of Ugandans, to be on the side of the people of Uganda. Because the people of Uganda are the ones being killed, being arrested, being maimed, and all these violations happening to them, you know. So that was our general request to them, that as friends of the people of Uganda, keep speaking out, don't pay a blind eye, as all these violations happen to the people of Uganda. So that's the cordial engagement that we had with the ambassadors from the European Union today. Question of mediation. So you asked, did it necessarily come up? We discussed a wide range of issues. But our view about mediation has continuously been, one, this is not something personal between Honorable Kyagulanyi and Mr. Tibuhaburwa. There's nothing personal between the two of them. Mr. Tibuhaburwa came with his rebels, they took over power when Honorable Kyagulanyi was 4 years old, you know. So there's nothing personal between the two of them. These are matters of the country. So the idea that Mr. Tibuhaburwa and Mr. Kyagulanyi will sit in a room and sort out, quote-unquote, their issues or their differences. There's no personal issues, there's no personal differences. The issues that Honorable Kyagulanyi raises are matters of the country. He's raising issues of corruption. He's raising issues of human rights violations. He's raising issues of theft of taxpayers' money. He's raising issues of no medicine in our hospitals, no schools for our children, etc., etc., etc. These are not personal matters between Mr. Kyagulanyi and Mr. Tibuhaburwa. No. These are matters of the country. So our stand as NUP has always been, any interaction, and we are not actually opposed to an interaction. We're only saying, and whenever Mr. Tibuhaburwa talks of mediation and so on, his modus operandi is to co-opt, you know. So Honorable Kyagulanyi, you come and tell me, you know, what is it? What can I do for you? You know, here is a few billions of shillings and that kind of thing. We are adults. We are not children. We cannot engage in that kind of shallow engagement, because that's what he does. He reaches out to our leaders, calls them quietly and says, you know, what can I do for you to stop, you know, talking about these things? How much can I give you? That's his way of doing things. That's not our way of doing things. Okay, because even when you do that, and yes, he has succeeded in buying off some of our leaders, but you see, the problems don't go away. When today, Mr. Tibuhaburwa, for example, wakes up, and let's even imagine he's able to successfully get Joel Senyonyi with whichever amount of money, but taking Senyonyi or any other leader of the NUP does not take away the human rights violations. It doesn't put medicine in hospital. It doesn't pay our teachers better. It doesn't stop the land grabbing, the corruption, and all these different things. And so for us, we are saying any discussion should be about the critical matters that affect the people of Uganda, and it should involve Ugandans. It's not a personal issue. Frank asked, we are hoping that it will have some kind of impact. You know, that if Mr. Tibuhaburwa cannot listen to Ugandans who he purports to lead, who give him their hard-earned taxpayer money to run this country, and they're telling him, please use our money better, deliver services and so on. If he can't, hopefully he can listen to our friends, our development partners, our neighbors. Because when a family head is running a home and he's ill, or she for that matter, you know, ill-treating the children, beating them up, violating their rights, denying them food and so on, sometimes when a neighbor goes and sits down this head of the family and says, you know what you're doing to your children is bad, you know, please feed them well. When they're wrong, you don't get a banger and hack them because you think they have committed an offense and that kind of thing. And sometimes the head of the family will listen to a neighbor that they respect, that they hold in high regard. That's what we are doing. You know, as Ugandans, our leaders are ill-treating us. And so we are saying their colleague leaders can reach out to them and tell them what you're doing is wrong. They're not saying we want to come and run the affairs of your home or your country for that matter. No, it's to say, this is not proper. The same way we can do that for any other country. Uganda, we can reach out to any country and say, you know what? No, the way you're leading your people is not proper and all of that. So we are hoping that this and several other engagements will have some impact. But ask kibiina kya NUP obukulembeze bw'ekibiina kya NUP bukyaziza ambassador okuva mu European Union. Tubadde n'omukulu akulira European Union delegation ne tuba ne ambassador okuva mu mawanga gano wammanga Denmark, Ireland, Belgium, Germany, France, Italy, Netherlands, Sweden ne Austria. Abakulu bano tubadde bakubakyaza ku kitebe kyaffe ekamwokya naye nga mwenna mumanyi ekitebe kyaffe poliisi n'amagye bakyakizinzeeko tebatukkiriza ng'abakulembeze b'ekibiina okugendayo okukakalaba emirimu gyaffe. Abakozi b'ekibiina nabo tebakkirizibwa kugenda ku kibiina okukakalaba emirimu gyabwe ate nga ffe tuli kibiina ekitongole, so emirimu gy'ekibiina girina okuba nga gikakkalazibwa nga gigenda mu maaso naye gavumenti tekkiriza olw'okutyoboola eddembe lyaffe. So kyemuva mulaba abakulu bano tubakyazizza mu maka g'omukulembeze waffe Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert ko ne bannaffe bano tuzze nga tuwayamuko nabo. Mujja kujjukira twabasisinkana bajja ku kitebe kyaffe ekamwokya ng'akalulu tekannabeerawo kubanga bakimanyi nti NUP yemu ku ba stakeholders yemu ku beetaba mu bigenda mu maaso. Ate abakulu bano basindikibwa ensi zaabwe kubanga ensi zaabwe tukkiriza nti mikwano gya Uganda oba mikwano gya bannayuganda, so kwe kwetaba mu bigenda mu maaso batula ne bawayamuko naffe, batula ne bawayamuko n'abakulu mu gavumenti ku bigenda mu maaso, so kwe kujja okuwayamuko naffe. Era balaze obwennyamivu ku bimu ku bigenda mu maaso. Okutta bannayuganda buli omu akiraba, okutulugunya bannayuganda bangi bakubiddwa, bangi bali malwaliro balina ebisago, bannayuganda bangi basibiddwa, kitalya ejjudde abantu abasinga ku bo nga bawagizi ba NUP bawagizi ba Honorable Kyagulanyi gwe musango gavumenti gwe bavunaana gye bali eyo bangi. Emmotoka kati ezakazibwako erinnya erya drone buno minibus obuyitingana emisana ekiro nga buyoola abantu baffe abakwatiddwa tetumanya abangi ku bo gye bali. So ebintu bino bonga bo babyogeddeko weewaawo nga tebibasanyusa nga abantu kubanga nabo bantu lwankubadde yes bakulembeze ba ambassador abakiikirira amawanga gaabwe naye nga abantu babiraba kubanga nabo batula ewaabwe ne balaba amawulire gemulaga mwenna nga balaga ebigenda maaso na Uganda abattibwa abayisibwa obubi n'ebirala. So ebintu bino babyogeddeko nga nabo tebibasanyusa. Ffe ng'obukulembeze bwa NUP tubasabye ti basigale nga batadde eriisa ejjogi ku Uganda ku bigenda mu maaso wano mu Uganda. Tetubasabye nti baveeyo bawagire Honorable Kyagulanyi bawagire NUP oba ekibiina kyonna, nedda. Naffe tukkiriza nti si mulimu gwabwe okuwagira oba gavumenti oba ekibiina kyonna mu opposition, naye tukkiriza nti amawanga ge bakiikirira wano mikwano gya bannayuganda, so ffe tubasabye bawagire bannayuganda, so si gavumenti, so si kibiina oba ng'ekyaffe oba omuntu yenna, naye bannayuganda. Era tubasabye basigale nga boogera ku nsonga eziruma bannayuganda, okutta bannayuganda mu nsonga ez'ebyobufuzi, okubatulugunya, okubasiba awatali musango. So tubasabye era basabye n'amawanga gaabwe bateeke eriisa ejjogi ku Uganda nga boogera ku nsonga zino, nga boogera n'omukulembeze waffe okugezaako kumukomako kubanga yes Uganda ggwanga eryetengeredde era abakulu bano tetwagala bajje wano bafuge eggwanga lyaffe, nedda. Kyenva mulaba tebaali mu kalulu kaffe. So eggwanga erya Uganda lina kufugibwa, naye Uganda nga bwe tugamba nti lyerimu ku mawanga agali mu kye tuyita international community. So ebifa mu Uganda bikwata ku Sudan, bikwata ku South Africa, bikwata ku America, bikwata ku Europe n'amawanga amalala, era ng'ebigwa mu mawanga amalala naffe bitukwatako. Jabo ekyokulabirako nga Uganda tuli mu South Sudan, tuli mu Central African Republic, tukolayo ki ate nga gano mawanga geetengeredde, naye gye tuli kubanga ebifaayo naffe bitukwatako. So tubasabye nti bateeke eriisa ejjogi ku Uganda, bavumirire ebikolwa by'obumenyi bw'amateeka ebigenda mu maaso, okutta bannayuganda, okubasiba ebitategeerekeka, okubatuusaako ebisago n'obumenyi bw'amateeka obukolebwa abapoliisi n'abamagye ku bantu ba bulijjo. Kitubasabye basigale ng'ensonga zino bazitaddeko eriisa ejjogi nga bazoogerako, era basabye bakulembeze baabwe boogere ne mukulembeze munnaabwe Mwami Tibuhaburwa namugamba nti nedda newankubadde Uganda ggwanga eryetengeredde naye kiba kikyamu gavumenti yo okutta bannayuganda, okubatulugunya, okubasiba awatali musango. So nabo batuwadde obweyamo nti engeri gye bali ba mikwano gy'abannayuganda n'amawanga gaabwe mikwano gy'abannayuganda, ensonga zino eziruma bannayuganda bajja zoogerako, bajja kukola ekisoboka okulaba nti obubaka butuukira abakulembeze baabwe ate nabo boogere ne mukulembeze munnaabwe asobole ate okukomebwako kumenyibwa amateeka gavumenti ye bwetuusa ku bannayuganda. I thank you. Tibuhaburwa atera mwattu okubanyoola omukono atya kati nga meeting eno gye tubadde nabo kati ojja muwulira Mwami Tibuhaburwa n'abakozi ba gavumenti bagamba nti kaakati mubalaba abazungu bagenze wa Kyagulanyi be bamuwa ssente era Kyagulanyi ayagala kuleeta wano abazungu batufuge. N'omwana omuto aba ategeera nga akiraba nti ekyo si kituufu kubanga abakulu be bamu babeera n'ensinkano ne gavumenti ya Mwami Tibuhaburwa naye ye kennyini, era ebiseera ebisinga Mwami Tibuhaburwa agenda n'abasaba obuyambi tikakati mu nyambe ne bamuwa ssente ez'ensonga ez'enjawulo. Kakati ye Mwami Tibuhaburwa kyagala otugamba nti akolera bazungu, ekyo ekibuuzo yali kizeemu naye ebigenda maaso nabo babiraba. Effugabbi ebyokutulugunya bannansi babiraba kubanga nabo webali wano mu Uganda ate abamu ku bo babaddeho okumala akaseera akawanvu. So ebigenda maaso babiraba babimanyi era basuubiza nti bajja sigala nga bawayamuko n'abakulembeze b'eggwanga lino era nga bawayamuko n'abakulembeze b'amawanga gaabwe